Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 24th of February 2025. So Bitcoin, Ether tumble as Bybit Exchange confirms a massive 1.4 billion hack. So the Bybit Exchange, a hacker managed to take control of Ethereum Cold Wallet. I thought cold wallets were offline on the Bybit Exchange on February the 21st, stealing over 1.4 billion in funds in the process. So a bit of a pullback there in the crypto market for that reason on Friday. Markets rolling over, huge down candles in equities during Friday, and stocks plummet and bonds rally on OPEX after soft US data and fresh COVID fears. Yeah, the rumour mill of COVID is returning as well at the moment in the news. Economic news today, German IFO business climate, that's the only one today. There's nothing major this week, so the markets are free to actually move up unless there's geopolitical stuff that will stop them from moving to the upside. So let's have a look at the markets and kick off with the Dow. So yes, certainly on Friday we saw the Dow moving sharply lower there, but bouncing on the overnight. Certainly some selling around there, but we're into oversold territory, so there's room to actually move back to the upside. If we have a look at the resistance, we can go from there to there with a fib retracement and see how weak this market is, see how much strength it's got as it tries to move back to these levels. And if not, then we continue on the downside from here up to here, and they will be the downside. You can see it's stopping at a 50% retracement of these 2 points, the low to the high, the big swing there, and then bouncing off this. So we'll save that and see what happens during today and how the market unfolds. But on Friday, we started to see prices drop before the cash market kicked off. The cash market's always easy to see because the volume increases at 2:30, and then we just moved to the downside there. So a bit of a sell-off there on Friday. Could just be a shakeout in a longer term up move. And like I said, that's why if you use the fib retracement, you'll be able to measure, and the averages measure the momentum and strength the market's got to actually try and reverse and move back. And in the German DAX, some buying pressure and demand coming in there. They've just had the election, and again, this far-right words being bandied about once again with a negative connotation, so making it look like, there's trouble ahead. I think you're going to see a lot more of this. Trump has certainly ignited a lot of people thinking, he's removed all of the transgender stuff and all that nonsense. So I think there's a bit of a switch and a change, a sea change coming as far as where politics is concerned. There's going to be a move from the left and centre by the looks of things. Anyway, this isn't a political forum, it's about the markets, but I think obviously there's going to have a bit of an impact there as well. Market moving back to the upside, the same as it did with the Dow, and when Trump won, the S&P and everything is continuing to make new highs. So maybe Germany will see sort of a Trump situation with the markets moving back to the upside. In the 30-minute chart, you can see there the market moving down, and also the market's reaction to this win by the so-called far-right party, and now starting to move to the upside there as well. The gap hasn't been filled out, so we'll just wait and see how that unfolds during today. In the S&P 500, prices also showing a bit of a sell-off there. Again, if we use the fib retracements and we go from this low up to here, you'll see we came back to 89. The market's now bouncing off this, and the 78 ties in with the 50 EMA as well, as prices tried to move back to the upside. In the 30-minute chart, well, it was straight down as we saw in the Dow, and there you can see the selling cluster and some buying demand coming back in, and the market now moving back to the upside. We'll need to close above the DP in order to move higher. Meanwhile, in the UK, another down day there, increase in volume as well, and again an oversold situation. And 30-minute chart, again you see the demand down at the bottom there, and then prices starting to move back to the upside again. Bit of a gap there as prices are now heading back towards yesterday being Friday, of course, Friday's high. And in the US dollar, this continuing to move lower. The area you want to look for is down here. That's the low of this is 105. So the 105 area is where the market will be interested. It has been down as low as 100 prior to Trump being elected, and that then sent the market to the upside. You can see it down there. So we're making a nice retracement there at the moment in the US dollar. This is the first target, that 105 level. Then you've got more down here, which looks about 103, something in that region, just above 103.50. And then down there's sort of the major areas of support. And we'll see what happens with regards to this, because obviously the metals are still trying to move higher. Well, gold's doing okay. But of course, Smackdown Friday turned up. So let's have a look at the metals. So in the metals on Friday, silver hammered to the downside. Certainly that expression that I heard a couple of weeks ago about Smackdown Friday couldn't be more true. And there you can see prices moving higher there overnight, or trying to find some support. But there you go, 130 on the dot, smacked the price down, and then down before the close of trade overnight. Asia also seeing the market being moved lower and then trying to move back to the upside. So back above 32.50, which is the blue line, and also the low for Friday there. No surprise whatsoever. Gold holding its own very, very nicely there. Just needs to get to $3,000. As I've mentioned before, watch out when we get there. They'll do whatever they can to hammer the price, and silver will fall out of bed at that level as well, because you can see how much gold's moved. Go and look at the silver chart. It's a struggle. It's an absolute choppy struggle to the upside. So any profit taking in gold will just be a slam in the silver market. So there we go. We tried to move higher there. We've found support, 3 lots of support. Market moving back to the upside. Just needs to stay above the DP and the close. And of course, at the moment, there's a lot of talk about getting an audit done at Fort Knox, and then the knock-on effect, of course, of that, whether they revalue the price of gold to try and write off some of the debt. But I don't think, personally, that's going to be the case. I think there's a lot of talk and speculation about it. And it's very easy to do, actually. If you do what's called mark to market, they could revalue the price of gold, which currently stands at $42.22 on the Fed's balance sheet, just by marking to market, which basically means you take the current price, you mark the price of gold on the balance sheet, and it doesn't actually affect it. So again, there's a lot of hype at the moment. And as somebody who invests in the metals markets and owns metals, of course, I would love to see, $150,000 per ounce, but that's a bit pie in the sky. You have to maintain some sort of reality. And there is, like I say, they did this in 1930, no, they did it in 73 and I think 35, where they did what was called mark to market for the Fed's balance sheet. So there's a lot of excitement about this, but don't hold your breath. They can just do that accounting trick. So let's have a look at the gold-silver ratio for Friday. And you can see, again, silver slammed. So gold-silver ratio moving up to 90. And overnight it's just down slightly as gold treads water there. So let's have a look at Friday's trades. So Friday morning, pre-market, grey shaded area, the market sideways to higher. We then kick off with prices sideways and then moving lower, then gapping back up. And of course all of the flash news was out on Friday, so that makes it doubly difficult. As you can see, the volatility there in the market reacting to these flash news items. Market puts in a potential sell, that fails. We're back above the 200 MA, and then we just managed to move down slightly there, sideways to lower. See how the market's finding support at the psychological level there, and then prices move down to the low. As soon as they get to the low, they reverse straight back off and then back to the upside. So you get this classic shakeout at the low, and you can see that low over to the left as well with the green buying coming in there. And then we head into the second hour of the trading session as the market pulls back. And then again, this just seems to be classic at the moment. The first couple of hours is really messy, and then once we get to 10 a.m. the market then just manages to move to the upside. So I wonder if there's selling going on within the first 2 hours, and once the selling's disappeared, they can then bring the market back, as you can see there. So the afternoon bit different than the morning. Choppy. The market selling off first with the Dow, because we saw how much the Dow moved back down to the low, and then we get a retest of this level, which you can see there, and then we get a potential buy signal, and this is where it becomes choppy and messy. So the market, having moved down sharply, then becomes sideways, and then you can see there the second signal moving down to capture the loss off the first trade, and then another loss turns up here as the market becomes a lot more quieter, as you can see there. So yeah, an interesting session, particularly Friday afternoon. Markets selling off, so we'll just have a look, see what's happening overnight. And there you can see at the moment we're already above Friday's high, and that's because obviously the far right party that's got in, and yeah, we're already at R2, so R3 is the upside target. See what happens there. Not a lot to report there because we're in uncharted territory. It's been a long time since far right party actually won in Germany, so we'll just have to wait and see there. Right, that's it for this one. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.